Bodgers. Right, part 2 of the ride on lawnmower. That's her there. I have filmed some of this already. Unfortunately, the sound quality was crappy, so we're going to do it again. No secrets here. What we did do was fetch it in. I have fitted the other battery. Bear with me. As you'll have seen in part 1, we needed a new battery. The other one was dead as a doornail. There was nothing left on it. Totally dry, totally buggered. So I got a new battery, quite easy. Earth, positive, put it on. I do need something to secure the battery, but I'll get a bum jig cord or something just to hold that in. It does run, and I think it needs a bit of a carb clean maybe, but we'll get around to that at some point. It's not entirely urgent, but one thing that we do need is the front. That wheel there was punctured. This wheel certainly went down very quickly. What I found in this wheel was 2 small pieces of metal that had gone through the tyre, no inner tube, so all it did was go down fairly quickly. This one couldn't get to pop back on the bead anyway. So whatever. So what I've done today, I've been down to RAF Snaith, where we do the volunteering work, myself and Adi from Blown 8 Cylinder, and I took the tyres off the wheels, cleaned them up. We're going to spray those. There's a little bit of roughness there, but there's nothing too sharp that it's going to go through our new inner tubes. Not a lot to say there, it's an inner tube, whatever. I might clean up on the inside, give those a bit of a clean, but the main thing at the moment is to get this rolling and actually cutting the grass. So yeah, there's nothing sharp there, so I'm going to give these 2, clean them up on his wire wheel, and they were quite rusty on the inside and they had some sealant on them. So what we're going to do is clean those up and paint them, let the paint dry. Any roughness that there is, I might just take off with a file, but there isn't a lot there. We did spray the bearings with some lubricants, and although a little bit gritty, they aren't too bad. Ideally what we need to do at some point is to fill the pack them with grease. I do need to find my grease gun, but yeah, we'll get around to that at some point. It's like I say, it's not urgent, but we'll get these done, get them cleaned up, paint them, put them back together, and we'll get them back on. Get them on the back of the back onto the machine. There we go. Get them back onto the machine, onto the spindles. New split pins in to hold them on. Might even see about some spacer washers just to hold everything nice and tight. But you know, it's a little bit loose. Is some of the some of the joints and things. I've got some wires cut down there. I don't know what they're for. Look at that. You see those bodges? How's that? That's a bit better, isn't it? Don't know what they're for. Guess we'll have to find out. It is a bit of a journey, is this one, I'm afraid. What I know about ride on lawnmowers, you can write on the back of a postage stamp. If you want to see somebody who knows about small engines and things, go over to Shop Cat Industries, link up in the description below. He's a friend of mine from over in Canada, has his own YouTube channel, and he does a lot of small engine stuff, a lot more than I do. So yeah, I'll get him to put a link into his channel, be able to see how a professional's supposed to do it. One thing I am not is a professional. Anything I do here, don't take as gospel. This is why I am called a bearded bodger, because nothing is done how it's supposed to be, but it's done well enough that it'll work. So yeah, so we'll get these wheels painted up, we'll get them cleaned up, hopefully. Once they're dried off, maybe tomorrow night, we'll get the new tubes in, put the tyres back on, and hopefully we should have something of a roller. Whether or not we have a cutter is a different thing altogether. Let me take the grass box out, everything seems to be there. You're still with me? You're still with me? So, you know, the belts, the tensioners, springs are all connected. What I am on the lookout for, here we go bodgers, this is something you might be able to help me with. There are different fittings. This is set up so it goes into the collection box to get all the grass cuttings. I think there is one which is shorter that comes around here and spits out the grass cuttings this way. I am on the lookout for one of those. If you know of one, bodgers, send me a link and let me know. But yeah, you replace this and it comes out and it throws the grass cuttings out this way, I believe. If you see one of those, bodgers, let me know, and I'd rather have that than using the grass collector. Oh god, you know, it's been one of those days. We've been at RAF Snaith today, breaking up the concrete floors. You will see on Blown 8 Cylinders, you might have seen it already, that there is a video to us breaking up the concrete. Yeah, seemed to yeah, there's a video of us breaking up the concrete. Hard work. I didn't get there while late on this afternoon, 12 o'clock, something like that, and we gave it 2 or 3 hours breaking up concrete. But the original floors to the rooms are underneath. Go over to Aidy's channel, there is a short there showing what we're doing, and I'm sure there will be other photographs and things he'll put on his channel and things about what there is. Again, links will be in the description below. So yeah, anyway, enough waffing. Let's get on and get these wheels cleaned up and painted, shall we? Right then, bodgers, just some quick colour. These was from Lidl, so nice and cheap. A couple of quid a can. Really nothing special at all. These are black. I have run my fingers over the inside of here, and there's no sharp edges, so hopefully the inner tube shouldn't get broken up. But the main thing to do is to get these covered, so away we go. Always do this in a well ventilated area. Don't take any risks, don't do this inside. But I'm out in the workshop. My lungs are knackered anyway. Just a light coating, doesn't need to be anything mega. Trying to not get overspray on you guys. I think you're alright. I'll go this way. How was that? That should do us for now. We'll let those dry off. And what we will do is, while those are drying, we're going to see if we can whip the spark plug out and see if that's fouling up, and possibly drain the fuel out of it. What it does have at the moment is it has 2-stroke fuel in there. Who knows why? That's what threw me off on the first video. I said it was 2-stroke purely by looking at the thing, and then realised, hang on, I've just dipped the oil. As you might know, 2-stroke doesn't have oil in the sump, the oil is in the fuel. So could explain why it's smoking a bit. So I'll take a look at that, and we'll see what we can do as far as draining out the fuel and putting some decent stuff in there. It might not be today. Don't think I've got any fuel. Let me just take a look. No, both empty. So I'll fill those up tomorrow, and we'll drain the fuel out. Maybe even see if I can find a fuel filter kicking around here, and see if that improves the situation with starting and things. I think the problem is that the spark plugs are getting a bit gummed up with oil in the oil in the fuel. It's not really meant to be doing that. Doesn't really harm the engine much. It just makes it a bit sluggish, and you know, you don't get a proper burn, and the spark plugs tend to get a bit of oil and gummed up. Not a good situation. So we'll take a look at that and see how we go. Right, folks, this is where the spark plug is. I've moved the battery out of the way. In fact, the camera's still on the battery at the moment. So take the lead off, see if we can find the spark plug spanner, and we'll whip that out and see what we've got. Right, folks, it took a bit of a while there, but to you it was instant. I'll take that off so I'm not blinding you all. Yeah, they weren't too oily, surprisingly. See, it's got 2-stroke oil in there. But could certainly do with a clean up. Looks to be a relatively new spark plug, to be honest. Looks a little bit better. And it's a Champion RJ19LM. Might get a new one at some point, replace it, but yeah, seems to be cleaning up okay. Gap don't look too bad, maybe a little bit, but a little bit too much. And that's too much altogether. As you can tell, I don't really use feeler gauges, etc. I'm afraid, bodgers. We eyeball it. Okay, so the gap, you see that? It's my dirty oily hand. Gap ain't too bad. So I'll pop that back in, tighten it up properly, not just hand tight like it was. And hopefully that should help us when it comes to starting it. Right. Put the plug back in. Doesn't need to be too tight, but certainly tighter than it was. Put that on, and then we'll see if we can actually get to the tank and drain that. Because I'm not really happy with it having 2-stroke oil in. Don't know why it's got 2-stroke in. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Because that's our dipstick there, look. And to be honest, the oil doesn't look too bad. It's certainly nice and thick. You see that, Bodgers? So there's plenty of oil in there. Well, obviously when you've got oil in the fuel as well, it's maybe just a little bit too much. So I'll take a look at the air filter while we're here. Again, something else I'll have to get a new air filter for it. No doubt they'll be on Amazon or somewhere. Yeah, it's a bit mucky. It's a Briggs & Stratton engine, 8.5 horsepower. So they certainly should be online, should they, and cheap. Down there is fuel. So let's take a look. That's our fuel line going in into the carburettor underneath. Let's take a look. Bear with me, Bodger. Bear with me 1 second. Wrong tool for the right job. One thing we do have an abundance of at Bodger Towers is cable ties. Because for some reason this fuel tank has been held on using cable ties. I'm not entirely sure why, but there we go. So yeah, there ain't a lot of fuel in there, as you can see. See that, Bodgers? Bear with me. Everything to hand. Still getting used to this here YouTube thing. Like I say, I've had to re-record some of this anyway because the audio was bad on the last one. So yeah, as you can see, there's quite a bit of two-stroke in there. Not something it's supposed to have in. It is a 4-stroke engine. So I'll drain that out in an environmentally friendly way, just to keep Greta happy. And when I get some more fuel tomorrow on my travels, we'll be able to come back, fill it up, and hopefully it should run a bit better and start a bit better. Because 2-stroke, you know, it doesn't harm a 4-stroke engine, but it's not the best of things to be doing. So I'll bring you back in a bit, Bodgers. By that time it will be tomorrow. Our wheels. Come with me. Come with me. Our wheels will be dry. Fresh fuel. Our spark plug's been cleaned. So hopefully, Bodgers, we should be game on. I'll see you tomorrow. In a minute. Saving the fuel for the chainsaw, because it is a 2-stroke. In fact, it looks like there's quite a bit of 2-stroke oil in that fuel, to be honest. I don't know how long it's been in there, but hopefully it'll go in the chainsaw and it'll be fine. My father-in-law, there's a lot of trees at his place, a lot of logs to do, so we'll use it up. Keeps Greta happy, although she won't be happy with chopping down trees, but who cares. And you see in there, Bodgers, there's quite a few bits floating around, so we ideally don't want any of that in there. See how much more I can get out without getting that in. The last thing you need is bits in your fuel. Not good for your carburetor. So that's good. That should do a 10-15 minutes on the chainsaw, maybe a bit more. For mixing some a bit of decent fuel in there, should all burn off in no doubt. How are these doing? To be honest, they aren't drying too badly. We might even get the tyres on today, who knows. So yeah, doesn't look too bad, quite fresh in there. We'll put that back on, and I'm assuming that's some sort of a vent in there. See that, Bodgers? Hang on, let me fit you around that way. Just get a bit of light on the subject. Sorry about the dodgy camera work, I do try my best. And I'm slowly getting better at this sort of a thing. Well, it seems to work. I'm assuming that, yeah, it's venting. That's not a problem. Because otherwise, if that's blocked up, it tends to cause a vacuum in the tank, and it means that fuel can't get to the carburetor. So yeah, I'll pop that back in, the reverse of how it came out, connect up the pipe, and cable tie it back in. There's somebody cable tied it back in, top bodging, can't fault them. And then tomorrow, put some fresh fuel in, and I might leave these overnight. And these wheels, yeah, they are drying already, but I might give them a second coat before the end of tonight. And we'll put the wheels back together in the next video, and put the fuel in, and we'll put the wheels back on, and hopefully, all being well, it should run okay, and I'll be able to take it out for its first chop. There will be a lot more to do on this vehicle, on this little old lawn tractor of ours. Oh. Sorry, Bodgers, still getting used to it. So yeah, there will be a lot more to do on this thing, but if we can get it running, I can finally get to cut the grass, get Mrs. B. Mrs. Bodger will get her off my back for a while, and yeah, so I'll see you later, Bodgers. Ta-da! Almost ta-ta. I will leave links in the description to Blown 8 Cylinder, who helped us out with the using the wire wheel on the in his workshop, and a few of our friends, Shopcat Industries, who does a lot of this sort of stuff. Check out his videos, give him a subscribe and a like. Excellent chap. Over in the old Canada, in the former colonies. We're coming back for your Shopcat. So yeah, well, I'll leave those links. Go give him a like, give him a subscribe. Tell him that here, Bodger sent me to go meet you and subscribe. He said that you do some good stuff. Whatever. I'm not saying that's how all my Bodgers talk, but it's what I'm picturing in my head. There's only 60 odd of you at the moment. If you are watching this video, like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel. There's more of this nonsense coming up, and yeah, so do the same over at their channels, and I'll say it again, I'll see you later, Bodgers. Ta-da!